to episode 2 of the Automotive Trends Garage. It's Diesel Week this week in Automotive Trends land, and to see just how good the modern diesel can be, we've tested a couple of big SUVs featuring our favorite power plant. The first of which is the Mercedes GL 350 BlueTech, which Jason put through its paces.
True.
Let's take a look, see what he thought.
Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Let's say you're in the market for a new car. You have $75,000 to spend. You fancy German automobiles. You have a boat, 2.5 kids, a Labrador. You live on a dirt road. It snows a lot in the winter, and you still want to get decent fuel mileage. Is there such a car? There is. The 2011 Mercedes-Benz GL. Think of it as the Mercedes-Benz Suburban. Under the hood, we've got a 3-liter V6 turbo diesel that's good for 210 horsepower and, more importantly, 400 pound-feet of torque. Now that's important because this vehicle weighs in at over 5,400 pounds, which, as you can imagine, it's not exactly light on its feet. 0 to 60 comes in about just a tick over 9 seconds. Not quick, but respectable. Considering that, I'm still getting almost 24 miles per gallon according to the trip computer. Now, in our prior session with the ML 350 BlueTech that we drove last year, we've known that to be a little bit optimistic. Either way, considering this thing's heft, if you're getting better than 20 miles per gallon, you're doing pretty good. Inside, I've got room for 7 passengers, myself included. Looks like they're big enough for car seats, so a budding family is certainly going to find this vehicle accommodating. Pretty standard fare interior for Mercedes SUVs, actually. What we've kind of generally been seeing is that Mercedes SUVs especially are kind of on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to comparing them in their class. You've got your sat navigation system, which again, it's on the lower end of the spectrum. It's a non-touchscreen system. You have to actually do everything manually via these little command buttons on the side here, which, yes, not intuitive, distracting, and my eyes should be on the road. Really, the best part about this package is the diesel. It's quiet, yet you still get just a little bit of diesel clatter just to let you know what you've got, which I personally appreciate that sort of thing. If I was to pick a downside, aside from that awful nav system, of this vehicle, 1 would be the price, 2 would be the nav system, and 3 is that at every oil change, you have to get the AdBlue replaced, which in itself really eats up a lot of the benefit as far as economics go. Ooh, a Nissan Juke. Ew. Anyways, getting back to that. The AdBlue kind of cuts into the economics of the benefits of this diesel. It just doesn't make sense. Which is where any other diesel that doesn't have to do the urea addition in order to meet emissions beats it. So the question I keep coming back to, is the GL 350 BlueTech worth $75,000? That's a tough call. It is. It really is a tough call. I mean, 75 grand.
I don't know. I think I would have liked, and I do like the diesels. We liked the ML a lot. We drove earlier.
Oh, it's a great diesel.
Same powertrain and everything. It's good. I think I was harsher on this vehicle because the week previous we had been driving the new Touareg diesel,
which we're going to show later.
A little bit. I really liked that. I thought it was a better value. This at $75,000, I'm with you. It's really hard to swallow, knowing unless you needed the 7-passenger capacity,
right.
I can't think of a reason I'd get this over either the ML, I guess, or jumping ship to Volkswagen.
The Volkswagen, really. Honestly, the interior, aside from it showing its age, I did like the interior. The materials were pretty good.
They were much better than the ML that we drove.
Right. It on the whole, the GL is aging better than the ML was. I think it had a more, I don't know, masculine or more. It had a tougher feel interior. The big grab bars in the center console. But my only real complaint with that truck was the nav system and how unintuitive it is.
It's awful. It's not a touchscreen.
The graphics are terrible. It's just depressing to look at. It's
the radio you can't even change quickly.
Well, it's because it's
you try and use the
dial thing,
Wonder Bar thing, and it doesn't go very fast. And when you get up to 107.9, it doesn't start over at 88.3 or whatever the bottom is.
And not to mention, by the time you've done that, you've already driven like 3 miles and over like 15 Priuses.
You've already. I was going to say you've already driven over what was in front of you.
Across 6 cornfields.
Just to change the radio, something that we've been doing since 1935.
I mean,
it's bad.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel here.
No, that's got to go. But
and then the AdBlue is another thing. You can get by without having to change it out. But if you look in the Mercedes book, it actually says recommended flushing the system. Which if you ring up a Mercedes dealer and ask them, it's like $400 service fee. Because each one of those...
Do you think that'll come down? That's got to be coming down.
I think eventually, as more, it's going to have to.
Yeah.
Or as they find that Mercedes owners are just like, well, forget that. It's running well enough as it is.
Well, it's covered under the free maintenance period and everything, right? So you're not going to have to worry about it for a while, I don't
think.
But
that will be one of the selling points. But
that's got to come down. But here's what I liked about the vehicle. To recap, the transmission 7-speed auto is wonderful. Mm-hmm. It is so smooth. I can't praise that enough.
Yeah,
I mean, handling all that torque, it's like butter from gear to gear to gear, all the way through. It's wonderful.
The 4-wheel drive is great.
Yeah, 4-wheel drive is great. The thing rode on an aeromatic suspension, very soft. I mean, it's not a handler, but it'll hold its own, but it rides so nice.
It's like driving a Suburban.
Yeah.
It really is. Aside from it's not as wide.
It drives smaller than that, though.
Right.
I think it drives smaller than it really is. A bit, within reason. But, the day-to-day drive is wonderful. I really, really liked that. It returns decent mileage. I just think it's getting way up there in price.
Agreed.
Right now, diesel's substantially more than fuel. I mean, we're talking 40 cents difference here locally a gallon, so you're erasing
True, but
some
you figure on a vehicle that size, you're only going to get...
The range is... The range...
Awesome.
I'd pay a little bit more for fuel, even just to get that range. I hate stopping for gas.
Yeah.
For fuel in this case.
You're probably getting 5-6 miles per gallon better with the diesel.
No, we like it because we like diesels.
Yeah.
No
argument there.
I like this one. It gives you a little bit, it reminds you that it's a diesel. You get a little bit of the diesel rattle at idle, and just off you get a little bit of that nice turbo diesel sound, and then it pretty much disappears at cruising. And that's just really the way it should be, in my opinion. The Touareg was even quieter, maybe too quiet actually, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, I think we're going to do the news.
Yep, let's move into the news.
And we've got New York Auto Show stuff coming up, but first,
teaser.
But first, this is actually the new Malibu.
Camaro. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, Chevrolet. You're in the same family, and actually, that's what the press release said, that they were trying to
emulate
these
the Camaro.
These actually look better than the Camaro taillights, I think. But that's I don't know how you make this work in the Camaro.
True. No.
The Camaro
LEDs,
though, a little odd to make it. Yeah, so that's got some. But this is coming out, I think, at the Shanghai Auto Show, isn't it? Which is coming up in just a couple weeks. Actually,
correct.
Right before.
And now this is also supposed to be on the same platform as the Regal, which you can kind of get the hint here that it's a little more aggressive in this little line here.
And we talked about this a little bit before when we've seen spy shots last summer and stuff. This car is. Right now, I think we're all on the same page. The Malibu, for being a vanilla midsize sedan, really looks pretty good.
It's an attractive car.
In profile, especially,
Very much so.
I've always
Appearance-wise,
the
anyway.
chrome outline of the greenhouse is just about as good as I
The
think.
greenhouse
any
has
competition.
always flattered me, or has always
I
been
think
flattering.
It's flattered the
I was
car.
gonna say, it
It's
flatters
flattered
you? No, your sport coat flatters. Might flatter you.
My smoking jacket.
Yeah.
Not that I smoke.
But again, we start to mess with the fundamentals of the profile of the car when we go to a smaller wheelbase, which is what's happening.
Right.
What's happening.
But look at the Regal. The
the Regal
Regal's
looks good.
wonderful.
So we'll see how this all shakes
And frankly,
out.
the Malibu's been.
The Malibu needs a redesign, no doubt about
Well, the
it.
Malibu needs to.
The Malibu has
It's
been
gotten
going back
big,
and
yeah.
forth because we had the first gen front wheel drive Malibu, which was loosely based on the J car and the N car, so Cavalier, Grand Am, and then it kind of got bigger, and you had the long wheelbase Malibu Max, and then they decided, well, we'll forget the Max, but we'll keep the Max wheelbase, and and so
Malibu Max SS.
Chevy's been trying to figure out how the Malibu and the Impala fit together, and provided the Impala stays front-wheel drive, then the Malibu being a little bit smaller makes sense.
Agreed.
So we'll be looking forward to seeing more of that, and I hope the spy shots have made me a little nervous. But when this last Malibu debuted, it really took a big step forward for General Motors in the interior department and design and everything. And I really hope they don't mess it up with this, because the spy shots are making me a little nervous, to be honest. But I will reserve judgment until we see this debut. and
Another thing
get
we
behind the
know,
wheel.
all 4 cylinders.
Yeah, but that's fine. If they're gonna do
Like
Well,
the
these
Regal,
days, with the Regal.
which makes sense.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they have a top-end model to compete with, like the new Hyundai 2.0 turbo. And
Agreed.
stuff. I mean, they got to get up there in the power range, but
Well, they have the 2 turbo
they do. But it doesn't return the right power
Do you
or
think
fuel
fuel
economy.
efficiency. Yeah, fuel efficiency.
This just crossed my mind, and do you think that they will offer manual transmission in this car? Because the Regal does and the Cruze does. So
Didn't
a
think
car
about that
above
one.
it and below it in General Motors lineup, it's a possibility.
It
They
is.
might, if for an ultra fuel efficient model, again too, like the Cruze Echo is a manual transmission vehicle.
Right,
to get
but-
the top mileage.
I don't know. That's
I don't
gonna-
have my fingers crossed. I don't think it's a great
the
possibility,
Malibu
but
market
it's
has,
a possibility.
has for a long time not
That's not really the
not been in the crowd. But
But what is it that keeps, in my mind anyway, what keeps the current Malibu from really competing better with the Accord is the fact that you can't get a manual transmission
true.
for it, and so the enthusiasts steer clear.
Yeah. And we know how much we like the Regal chassis, so if this is on that and it
Oh,
looks
the
good
Regal is brilliant.
and it's less money, we're talking good news there. So
yep.
let's move on to some news from across the pond. Actually,
Nice paint scheme.
I was going to say, is that production?
This is an option, but this is the refreshed
Artists
XF,
on. Ugh.
and this
He's
is
gotta
the
be an artist.
2012 model on some sort of hallucinogen.
My sister's an artist. She might like that.
She might. It's coming to New York, actually, to debut. It's a
Well, they
2012.
think different.
Insulting family members yet again.
Yeah, for the whole world to see, nonetheless. That's going to cause some.
Sorry. She lives in New York. She's fine.
Speaking
yeah.
of New York, this is coming to the New York Auto Show.
New York. You can go look at it.
Some refreshed body work, but the bigger news, we think, is a new powertrain, which is a 2.2 liter diesel.
Diesel.
Here we go on Diesel Week in
Diesel
Automotive
Week.
Trends land. 332 pound-feet of torque.
Would
That's going to be nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
how much horsepower? Not
well,
that it matters.
About 180, mid-180s.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
But in diesel land, it's torque. So
Right.
332 from a 2.2 liter.
Brilliant.
We're talking mid-40s fuel efficiency.
Wow.
I bet it'll be better than that.
Might be better
And
than
it's
that.
huge.
8-speed, the new 8-speed ZF automatic, which is good.
Yeah.
The problem is they're saying this engine's not coming to America.
Well, that just I don't even.
Of course,
wanna know.
because Americans don't like diesels.
But you know what? I'm hoping we can change their minds because
Then why?
Volkswagen
Then why are they showing?
diesels take rate?
Yeah, why are
continues
they
to
showing
be
it in
strong.
New York?
Well, that is odd. I don't know. I think they're proud of it for one.
Well, yeah, 40 miles per gallon in a tank.
45 maybe. I mean, we're talking.
Well, XF.
It's the XF, not the big XJ.
Not the
Right.
XJ.
But
Oh, but the XF is
It's
well,
not
it's
a
all
small-
aluminum.
This
but
looks
it's not
more
a
like
small
the
car.
XJ now.
It
I
is
mean, you
starting-
can
It
see
is.
behind all those
Yeah.
swirly, squiggly things.
Which is not a bad thing, provided they don't
not
screw
at
up the
all.
detail.
Yeah, there are worse things. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
do that,
Oh.
Jag.
Yeah.
So we need to convince Jaguar to bring that diesel here, but we'll look forward to seeing that without the crazy paint job coming up in a few weeks.
Yes, I'm thinking like a Monaco blue or something.
Monaco blue.
British Racing Green.
I was gonna say,
British Racing Green.
Why, yeah, that's a BMW. I got my,
Yeah.
Downscale
Huh.
a little bit.
yeah, a bit.
The new Kia Rio sedan coming also
Rio.
to New York, I believe.
True.
That thing's growing up well.
It's,
This is a cheap car, but you know what? It doesn't look that bad.
No, I don't think it looks bad at all.
You guys don't like this.
I hate two
A-pillar.
A-pillars.
No,
but
I
you
don't
know
like
what?
the A-pillar,
You know
but
what,
that
though?
one's not terrible.
I have to tell you, it breaks a fundamental law of automotive design. But
I don't know if it would work out.
they're
I didn't
they're
go to
doing
school
better
at that one,
they,
that school.
well, we went to the School of Automotive Trades.
All right. So how do you know design?
Self-taught.
Self-taught. There you go.
Wow.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
but these dual A pillars are looking better and better, and part of it is just, I think, for aerodynamics, it's becoming more and more necessary to move that A pillar forward. It's a crime, but but some of the stylists are making it work. So I'm
What
not going
I
to
don't
complain too much.
understand, because we are after aerodynamics so much, and unless, of course, we're not seeing the other side over here.
What, you
maybe
mean
this
the other
one's
side of the car
functional.
looks different?
Well, no. Why do we have to have an inlet, a vent, scoop thing?
Oh, that's that. Big
That's
one
blacked
that's
out.
Completely blacked out. It's kind of like the mid '90s Chrysler Sebring had a crosshair grille, like the original
was
Chrysler
huge.
300 series, and it was this big grille, and there wasn't a single slat in that whole grille that was functional. It was a bottom breather. It was quite comical.
Yeah.
Well, you know that.
Well, they're leaving that for some more performance-oriented Kia Rio, so that they can charge more than $9,000 and charge 10 and a half.
Performance-oriented Kia Rio. That's an
Those two.
oxymoron, but we'll give them the benefit of a doubt.
Maybe
but
they'll
this
put
is
a
looking
big
better. This is a cheap
fog
car.
light
I
in
mean, the
it.
current Kia Rio is like what? 13,000.
Yeah.
It's down there.
Yeah,
It doesn't
so
look this good,
No.
and I'd pay more for this.
We'll see how that comes out. We'll see what engine they put in it. We'll see what fuel economy they put in it. Because when they've got Sonatas getting
that better be
35
getting
miles per gallon,
45,
this better be getting 40.
50.
Unless it's the law, unless it's like Ford's problem,
Yeah,
with the
with the
Fiesta,
Fiesta.
because
you're getting-
or Chrysler's problem with the Fiat 500. When you take enough cost out of a vehicle, all of a sudden some of the things that give you better fuel economy, whether it be more expensive bearings or seals or whatever, you get more drag on these things, and so
Yeah.
so it's possible. It's
We'll see what
possible
they
it
come
won't
up
be
with.
that great.
But I think we need to move over to the design wall.
The design wall.
Let's go.
All right, so we are at the design wall, as Brandon is modeling for us. Thank you,
You
sir.
couldn't see
Bama.
it
Yeah.
right here behind us.
So good cars go to the top. Good design.
Good designs.
Not good.
Not
true.
good, because you can have a good car with a awful design.
Case in
Yep.
point. So,
Nissan GTR.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And then bad design on the bottom, dual A pillar.
Huge
Honda in
dual
general.
A-pillar.
Yeah, it's like
It's like
We could probably
Lumina
line 'em up.
APV. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
all right.
So
we have picked out some designs for our design editor
That he has
And
not seen
I'm
yet.
to critique.
Anxiously anticipating.
Top secret again.
Yes.
Okay. Now keep in mind it's Diesel Week.
It's Diesel
We
Week.
have a diesel theme.
Diesel
Yes.
Week.
Diesel.
Diesel. Q7. Audi Q7.
TDI. Not that it matters.
Well, I do like that it's the European model without tinted glass. I do not like dark, deep tinted glass. So that's if
He's
it
got
had been a
some
U.S.
issues.
model.
We're working
no,
on
no,
him.
no, 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 no. It's these people. I'm still bothered by Audi's grille. Even though it has grown on me over the years,
It is
still
ginormous.
It still bothers me that you've got this bumper bar going right through the
Yeah.
grill, and yeah, in Europe you've got the big plate that has to go on it, but in the U.S. we don't. So you could move the Audi rings down, you could hide that bar behind there, but overall, I really love the hatch on this and how the taillights are integrated. And it's a bad design from the standpoint that when you open it, somebody behind you can't see those lights. Although I think they've put some auxiliary lights
they have
in
the
there.
little strip along the
Yeah. So we won't knock it down for that. This is actually this is. I mean, this is no Camaro, no Charger, that sort of thing. But this
Luigi.
There's no Luigi.
This is pretty good. I'm gonna put it right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's fairly good.
Next diesel design.
What do we got?
Diesel. I'm just thinking, what other diesels are there?
There's quite a few. America, you have choices.
Mercedes-Benz E-Class.
More and more and more. We've driven that.
Not that one.
Well, not the newest one.
I haven't driven that.
The
old
newest
one.
But it was still good.
Pre-you.
In fact, I think, yeah.
Well, you know what I really like about this car? I really like the Carmen Ghia fender.
It is. That is probably my
It's
favorite
better
feature
in
on that
certain
car.
colors for me than others, but
Yeah.
you're right. It is
Yeah,
at least
I do like that,
design.
and they have held fast to the traditional Mercedes-Benz grille, the stand-up
Looking
foot
as good as
ornament.
ever.
Stand-up foot ornament.
Yeah. This is looking pretty good. This is not bypassing the Camaro.
No.
And probably not even bypassing the Charger. I just think that's an all-American design that just is unmatched.
One of the little details of that car, the newest generation of that car, that really makes it or breaks it for me. Have you noticed they put different fog lights in different models? Like there's
Depending
that model
on
with the dual little
fog
fog lights in each corner, and I hate that. I hate that.
I kind of like that one.
But these little things
terrible.
like are floating.
Yeah, those
in
are fine.
So,
Those are fine.
And then you've got kind of the F1 looking lower bumper fascia
No, that's about as good
splitter
as
thing.
it
So we're gonna put this. Well, gosh, I wonder if I put the Focus too high.
I think we can.
We
might be able to allow adjusting.
I think I should live with it. I think I should live with the consequences of my own poor judgment.
This is what you get for being hasty.
There we go. Well, there wasn't much up on the wall at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
All
right, next diesel.
Next diesel.
Is it going to be German? It couldn't be anything other than German unless you give
There's
me
not a lot of domestic.
unless you give me
we do
Super
have
Duty.
some, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Next diesel.
Oh, 3 Series.
35D.
Wow. Huh. Well,
A stumper.
now I have a question. This doesn't have to do with design, but does the North American 3 Series diesel come with the stop-start technology? Because I've driven one with the stop-start, which was really slick. I was idling with it, and I thought it stalled, but it just shut off, and I pushed the clutch in, and the car started back up. It was really slick. Seamless. And I think it was telling me like 40-some miles per gallon as I was sitting there. It was... BMW, I used to any BMW I would have ranked above a Mercedes-Benz in styling. The 7 Series versus the S-Class, the 3 Series versus the C-Class, the 5 Series versus the E-Class. Any of those, I would have used to have ranked above. And I still like BMW design, by and large.
Yeah.
But this is not head and shoulders above like it used to be. And so I'm going to put it just smack dab middle of the road.
Wow.
It's good. I like it. It's rear-wheel drive. It's got the right
But are you
average.
saying the E-Class is a better design than 335D?
Well,
Yes.
Looks like
It's
that's
higher,
what he's
so you
saying.
did that on purpose.
Yes, I would. I would say it's higher. I would
Okay.
say it's higher.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you what other BMWs I might have put in different
Yeah.
spots because you might want to surprise me.
Look at that. That line is perfect, though.
It's good. It's good,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
look at
it's
how
fairly
that
forgettable.
The
That
headlamps are
greenhouse
so
is
weak.
forgettable. That's the problem on that design. That greenhouse
I
is
can't
just
see.
boring.
Well, but everybody's got the
And
the
everybody's
dog
got
leg.
this general shape to the grill. I mean, look, it's right there.
This hood's a little better, too. It's got a couple power zones.
Yeah, that one's...
But
All
we'll
right,
let you go. You're the
he's-
design editor.
I might regret this later.
Okay.
See, this is too high. This should not be above this. But this can't be this. Boy, that is awfully low.
It's fine.
This
right.
is awfully
You
low.
made the decision.
I might regret that one later. I'm already regretting
Here's
this
our
Ford.
last diesel design. And we finally get to
I
the
did call it,
domestic.
didn't I?
Domestic truck.
This thing, I'm sorry. Okay.
He doesn't like
when this truck came out, what year was that? 98? 98?
98 it was a 98
model in
The
February of 99.
The Super Duty.
Yes.
Didn't it
Yeah.
come- it
My
came out in
family
99?
got
Yeah, but it wasn't the year before. I thought it was the early '99 model.
It was an early 99 model that came out in February. My
Okay,
family
well,
got
look it
ours
up on
in February of
Wikipedia,
99,
guys.
98.
Look it up
Yeah,
on
98.
Wikipedia.
98. That's what I
what
said.
I
said
said
that the
98 at the
first
very
time.
beginning.
Yes.
All right, we're just
And
arguing.
I'm not even a Ford guy. Now, when this truck came out in '98, as we've now established,
As a '99 model.
it was a really good design. I really thought it advanced the Ford styling because we had just kind of come off of the organic-looking F-150, which also I thought was a good design at the time.
It was.
Didn't wear the regular cab long box didn't look quite right because of some of the organic shapes. But this kind of solved that dilemma because most of these trucks were going to have the 8-foot box. Sure. Back in the day. Now people are buying short boxes on Super Duty trucks
5.5.
and all that nonsense.
shorter.
But and it looked good. And truck product cycles shortened up. We've gone through. We're now on our third F-150 since this truck came out.
That's ridiculous.
And we're
That's
on.
good.
We've gone
It really
from
is.
CK to GMT 800 to GMT 900 Silverados, and HD for that matter. And Ford, for some reason, just hung on to this thing.
It works.
No, this is awful. This is awful. This is awful.
It's what's under the skin that counts.
We're talking about design, and
I knew I was going to regret this.
and you know what? That argument doesn't matter because GM and Dodge have Ram have both updated their trucks, and their trucks are more modern looking, and they're competitive with this thing powertrain wise. They are competitive with this thing.
It's a tool. It's like a
They have
screwdriver. It's a
grafted
workhorse.
on that big.
The
First
headlights
of
are a
all,
little ridiculous
the
then.
headlights are ridiculous. It's got this anachronistic side vent, and then it put the grill in parentheses. This is
The grill in parentheses.
Oh.
below the GTR because there are facelifts that make a vehicle look older than it even already is, and that's one of them.
At least
I
this
could
has
make
more torque than that.
I could do a column on the worst facelifts in history, and that's one of them. That's one of them. I could go on.
Well, we think we've established that he's not a fan of the current Super Duty, but we'll have to try to stump him with something next week.
I was hoping to.
I really need to move that.
I don't know. Judges will have to decide.
We're going to have a ruling.
maybe you get to move an episode or something. You have to limit.
Yeah, I like that idea. We could do that.
Okay.
We'll allow you one move.
Okay. This episode? Or do I have to
No,
wait?
because I think we should allow him one move before
Oh,
we
I see
introduce
what
the
else
new
comes.
ones.
Okay.
So you've already got these
Okay.
ones up. So you have to live with this being above this for right now.
I'm ashamed.
He's
I'm
screwed
ashamed.
up.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but-
as you can
but
tell,
next time-
we're making this up as we go.
Right.
But the
Next
new rule,
time, you'll
can
get
move.
one move, provided you haven't yet accepted any of our new ones.
Oh, well, don't worry. I know what I'm moving.
All right.
And it's not Luigi.
All right, but I think we need to go talk about the Touareg because
Yes.
we tested that a few weeks ago and we
So-
liked it a lot. So let's go see
You
what
all take a look at this.
Yeah, you guys actually took this for a trip, didn't you?
Yes.
Fuel economy challenge, if you will.
It was fun.
I wasn't
it wasn't.
invited. I had to call in. Seriously, I had to call in.
True.
All
You
right,
did.
let's take a look.
$395. What a deal.
Yeah. Woo! So it's like almost 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's after 8
It's after 8.
by quite a bit.
We're putting diesel in the Touareg, ready to go on a 200-mile road trip.
All
Go
It's
diesel.
brown. So, 2 VOOs so far.
I know, our count is not going well.
Disappointed. Not that I'm normally looking for these things.
Whoa. I don't know what that is. Di's calling.
That's an interesting...
Hello?
Maxwell,
Hi.
where are you?
In a Touareg with Grenand.
Are you lost?
No,
No,
we have a GPS.
Okay.
we're not stuck either.
Okay.
I figured out what
Are
it
you
is.
in Michigan?
We don't have you.
We are in Michigan.
Yes. We're in the thumb.
Oh, I've been there, done that, bought the T-shirt.
Yes.
Hmm.
We're on 53 going north.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you could have picked a more exciting area to drive around on your Saturday.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, we picked a dot.
It's fuel economy friendly.
Yeah, it's very fuel economy friendly. According to this,
Yeah.
we're getting 33.2 miles to the gallon.
But what exactly is
And Muxlow's
your,
driving.
Goal here? Are you competing against each other on a
Yes.
set loop, or are you looking for maximum fuel economy over a set loop?
Both, kind of.
I'm
But you are completing the loop twice?
No, we're not doing a loop. We're doing an out and back.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So you're driving out to a point, which is where?
Port Austin.
Okay. And then you are driving back.
Yes.
And you are driving at the moment, so Grenand is driving back.
Yeah, I'm gonna win.
Well, that's possible, I guess. Knowing how Muxlow drives compared to knowing how Eric drives.
It's
Diesel.
quite probable, and he's still getting 33.2 miles per gallon according to the truck.
Okay.
So
Now, what do you think about it? I've called it a bank vault. Do you agree?
Oh,
It's very quiet.
it is. We really can't hear the diesel
No.
sounds, which is a little disappointing to me.
I want to hear my diesel.
But I was thinking, though, overall, interior-wise, I think this is a vehicle is very hard to fault.
Oh, yeah. The materials inside are just exquisite. I mean, very, very good. And the design, I think, trumps, between the design and the materials, I think it trumps the ML we tested a while back.
Absolutely. It
I
makes
think it drives lovely. I like it's got a nice weight to the steering wheel, so it doesn't have the usual SUV disconnected, vagueness. So it solved that problem. The brakes are very powerful, and the pedals very directly tuned. Actually, there's no dead space really. They bite fairly initially, and then the 8-speed automatic did a good job while I had it, and then the interior's fairly wonderful, and I like the looks of the outside too. I don't know if it'll have a long shelf life, but right now it still looks fresh to my eyes. So I think it's a pretty formidable package. I like it.
The only thing that I kind of wish it would have had is the adjustable suspension, because I think that would have smoothed out some of these lumps in the road just a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the blank
That's it.
out buttons, though,
I
where
failed
they
to
would
mention
go.
that it does ride a little rough.
Yeah, Grenand's pretty happy about the blanked out buttons on the console.
Yep, I'd rather have the blanked out buttons than the features.
Well, he is weird. He's weird like that. So I wish you guys good luck on the rest of your trip. Try to leave a little fuel in the tank and let me know what you end up with.
Okie dokie.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, good luck.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, I think
Don't hit the minivan.
I'm not going to hit the minivan. We're here.
We're here.
We're Port Austin.
I don't know how to focus this. Whoa,
all right.
I took
That's-
a couple pictures by accident.
Well,
Well, that is kind of interesting. It looks kind of frozen over
and cold.
and cold. And it looks like the restrooms are closed. That's disappointing.
That is a bit disappointing.
What are those boats?
I don't know.
Could we drive it onto the dock?
I think that might be considered a bad idea.
Well, I think it would hold it.
Yeah, probably. Having arrived at our midpoint destination, we took a moment to reflect on the Touareg's finer attributes. For instance, the LED and bi-xenon headlamps. The 3-liter V6 turbo diesel that produces 225 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. And even the power liftgate, though I'm not sure why. And then we took a moment to reflect on some other stuff. Well, this would be a lot nicer if it was warmer.
July.
Yeah.
I don't know why we decided to drive north in
We should have went south.
March. I don't think we could have driven far enough south to get warm.
No.
I mean, on one tank we could have if we'd have driven this thing out of one tank. We were up to 33 miles per gallon on the way up here.
I know, that's crazy.
26-gallon tank, that's quite some range. We could get past Nashville.
You know, it's kind of romantic.
Sure. Something like that.
Maybe not with you.
I think we have to go into pay.
What?
So does that mean I can pump and then pay?
How backwoods is this
I'm
place?
telling you what. I have not done that in
Eons.
eons.
What's an eon?
Depends on what it's sitting on. I wonder if I have to go in and prepay. Oh no, she's very recent. I just feel like they should trust me. It's been so long since I've done it this way.
Because you're such an untrustworthy fellow. And Eric is a little...
I'm not going to make it.
He's a little grumpy.
I can't get past 30.5 miles per gallon, which I cannot understand how Muxlow, flooring this thing multiple times, was getting 33.
By a
But
lot.
you know what? Flint is 30 miles away. I've got 30 miles.
By a lot.
I know, 3.5 or 3 miles per gallon right now. I'm at 30.4. 30.3.
But we're going south. We're going downhill.
Your logic is flawed.
See?
That just scrolled up. This has an altitude. What do you call that?
Altimeter.
It's an altimeter.
I think it's an altimeter.
See, I'm going uphill right now.
Yeah, but we
620
were
feet.
at 700 and something.
40, yes, but we don't know what you
15
were
miles
at.
back.
But, okay. But that was somewhere between Port Austin. That could have been the top. That could have been the highest point on the whole trip, and you could have had all downhill from
See,
there.
there it goes. It's going down.
Yeah, well,
3 feet.
I think it's inevitable that Flint is higher than Port Austin. Port Austin is a port because it's on the water.
I think you're just making excuses.
I don't think I'm making excuses. I think it's just rational logic. Yeah, I still say Flint is higher than Port Austin elevation-wise. and Di's got to side with me on this one, that there is no way that me and Jason doing a fuel economy challenge, that Jason is going to win
Right here.
all other things being equal. No way.
Something was
If
very
you want to get good
amiss
fuel
here.
mileage on your next road trip, take me along.
No. But,
Speaking of the vehicle,
yes,
That's
that
right.
was an
It-
impressive.
yes. Yeah.
That was whether it was the 30 miles per gallon it was reading when I was driving, or the 33 when
Actually,
Muxlow was
that's
driving.
not what it got.
No, I know. It's
Because we
lying.
did the calculation when we got back, right?
All these German cars exaggerate on those trip computers.
This one by a lot. This one was almost by 10%. So
It's
when I was
ridiculous.
getting 33.4, really, I was only getting 30.
Which is still
pretty good.
incredible.
Yeah, I know. I
Fuel
mean,
mileage.
you're still beating the 28, whatever.
But we
it
have
was
an
at the
ethics
top.
problem here with our German car makers. I just because
Yeah.
the ML350 when we
Liars.
drove that was way off. This Touareg is way off, but I can say
maybe the SAE needs to jump in here and certify these things, or come up with some sort of standardized, accurate
calculation
of these things to make all things, to level that playing field.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the Touareg is very quiet.
Brilliant truck.
It starts, it idles very quietly.
It was
at cruise, you don't even know it's
rigid, and it didn't have a lick of trouble in a cold start.
The 8-speed automatic is handled
Buttery
things very well.
smooth.
Never had any hiccups with me.
Actually, lost count which gear I was in most days.
Well, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
Well, you don't even know what gear it
was
starts
just
in. It's
shifting,
like
shifting, very easy.
It's very well done. The interior, in my opinion, for less money, this was what, 57?
58.
Somewhere in there.
Yes.
It was a lot less than that Mercedes.
But it was fully loaded. It had a great stereo.
Actually,
it had the touch screen. It had the glass roof, huge glass roof.
Huge glass roof.
it was actually a very good comparison to the ML that we drove last year.
It was within
the price was actually within a couple $1,000.
Yeah, it was within a grand.
The weight was spot on between the two as far as what they, and then both of them had 3-liter V6 diesels.
Yeah.
225 horsepower in this, 406 pound-feet of torque, whereas the Mercedes was what, 206 horse and 400 even pound-feet
And
of torque?
don't forget, their curb weights were identical.
I know, exactly, which I think someone's lying.
Somebody was reading, checking off somebody else's spec sheet.
A great 7-speed versus a great 8-speed. I think this vehicle doesn't, the photographs are good, but in real life, this vehicle actually has a few more curves, I think, than you expect it to. It looks really good to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how long down the road it's going to last.
It's all in the details. It's those jeweled headlamps with the LEDs around it,
but
and
even the body sides are pretty well styled. Great looking 19-inch wheels. Just nice details. The
Sits well on
the
wheels.
interior materials were, I think, actually superior to the GL we drove for 75.
I would
think
agree.
They were better all around than that. Certainly a better, more modern 8-inch touchscreen nav system and stereo system and all that. Very straightforward climate controls, no problems there. I think its biggest dynamic complaint from me was that it rode pretty stiff.
Yes.
It was definitely set up with more of a sporting pretension, if that's
was pretty
even
stiff.
feasible possible.
Frost tubes and stuff, they come.
But you can get the air ride suspension.
I think you can still get the nice air ride suspension, which would probably
and
dial
down
things in.
Which would take away our little blanked out buttons.
You'd get some more options there. But other than that, just a very comfortable vehicle. Huge range again. Almost 700 miles on a tank.
Oh, it was reading. We easily could have gone over 700.
So, just wonderful, really. I mean, really, really good. I thought it was actually a good value for as luxurious as it was. When you're talking in that range,
and it's a Volkswagen. It's not even an Audi.
Yeah, but I liked it a lot actually, and
very impressed.
I thought it was a value. So we want you to take a look at that. The Volkswagen Touareg diesel is as good as ever. Not quite as magical as the big V10 Touareg we drove years ago. That was magic.
That was an epic pinnacle
from an era gone by.
Yes, no longer with us. But quick before we head out, what did you guys actually calculate this returning? Right around 30, 28, 29?
30, well, between the two of us, I think it was right
like
around
28.
28, 29.
So we say 28, 29 for the Touareg. You guys did a big fuel economy challenge with the ML.
Mercedes, and we got 27.
27.
So we're talking slight advantage for the Touareg.
But I think
but the ML, we were on the highway a lot longer.
Right.
I think it would be fair to say these are pretty close neck and neck.
Okay.
And one's got 8 speeds, one's got 7, but really
but that doesn't matter because we're comparing vehicle to vehicle.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm not talking about which engine is more efficient.
Yeah.
We're talking about which vehicle.
Right.
All right.
It's a personal preference at that point. Do you want the Mercedes logo with the bad nav?
Oh, I hate that nav.
Yeah.
Or do you want a little bit rougher ride?
Let's come down on one side or another before we go. I would take the Touareg.
Touareg.
Oh, Touareg.
Oh, that was easy.
Well, I guess that wraps up Diesel Week here.
Yeah, well, no arguments there. I thought we might get into a fist fight or something, but no, that was easy this week. So
We don't always agree.
For you.
True.
But we'll have more next time. So in the meantime, keep reading everything automotive. Good night.
And God bless.